Good afternoon. I'm Jeff Lyons. It is a little after 2 o'clock here. Time for our afternoon streaming update here on the winter weather situation around the tri-state. Barbara Bellinger will be joining me here in just a couple minutes with some information from the news department. So she's been gathering that, and we'll have the latest info for you on states of emergency and things like that. I'll get you through the weather here. First off, this is what the roads are looking like, and this is kind of a narrow view because we're only going to look at the Lloyd Expressway here in Evansville. You can see we've got two ruts out there that have been scraped down, or at least the driving lanes in both directions now appear to be somewhat clear. I'm sure the passing lanes are still snow-covered out there, as they are in much of the area. Owensboro, and of course you're looking at the riverfront here, not a major thoroughfare. Big flakes coming down there as well, and we may see an additional inch or so of snowfall with these remaining bands that will spin through over the next couple of hours. I know we've been talking about this snow tapering off this afternoon, but it is taking its sweet time in doing so. You can see still some of these heavier bands with the darker blues, and there she is. Come on up here, Barbara. Okay. Yeah, it's all right. We'll get you on that mic. We're going to get Barbara on here first because she's got work to do. And first of all, thanks for coming here on 2 o'clock, Barbara, our normal weekend anchor here, doing double duty. You were in the Interceptor yesterday.
Yeah.
Now you're gathering news today. What do you have?
Okay, so I thought I'd check in with some of our outlying counties first because we tend to get focused pretty
Right.
internal.
In our backyard.
Yeah, so I checked in with Ohio County. I talked to the EMA director. He said the roads are, quote, very, very bad. You know, they do have county, state, and road guys out trying to clear some of the snow off. He says they're going to be stopping today at 4 p.m., and then they're going to start back up tomorrow morning at daybreak.
Okay.
So he said, stay home. It's not wide enough on the county roads for a snowplow and a vehicle at the same time. And he says, for welfare checks, please don't go and do them yourself. Call 270-298-4411. I can post that on our Facebook later.
That'll be on our news stuff.
Yep. White County.
Illinois.
Yeah, same story. Just they've got city, state, and county road crews out, and he called it fighting a battle. Still fighting a battle with the snowfall.
Look at the radar here. See, there's picking up another snowband right now. So it's like, trying to dig a hole in sand. It just keeps filling in.
Yep.
And a lot of these are rural areas that you're talking about where it's these narrow county roads to begin with.
Exactly. So again, he said what he saw people try and come out today around 10 this morning, and every vehicle that was two-wheel was getting stuck.
Of course. Yeah, you got to have four-wheel drive and a little higher up.
A little higher up. I have four-wheel drive. And
I was going to ask, and just a little, I don't know if you saw our podcast a while back. Barbara came to us from Michigan. And of course, you grew up in Alaska. You've spent a lot of time up in Michigan. You know snow.
I do.
And you know how to handle snow.
Yes.
We here in the tri-state, not so much. It's this kind of event like we're having today is relatively infrequent, maybe every 7-8 years, something like that. What were your impressions when you got out of bed this morning and headed over here?
Yeah, it's not good.
No.
And like you said, I have experience driving in snow, and if I didn't have to be here, I would not be out in it. I have four-wheel drive. I've also learned that the tread is not that great on my tires. I'll be getting all-weather tires this next week.
Yeah.
But I struggled. I was all over the place. I was going really slow. I know how to get out of when I got stuck a couple times. I know to rock back and forth.
Sure.
But it's not safe. It's not safe out there for people who do not know how to drive in the snow.
And yesterday, you were part of our team coverage. You were out in the Interceptor, looking at road conditions. And yesterday, bad, but not as bad as today.
So true.
But you noted last night, I watched the 10 o'clock show. You were in Henderson. You'd gone over the bridge
Yeah.
and all that stuff. That not many people were on the road. So maybe they are heeding our advice.
That people who I've talked to, also with ISP and KSP, the state police, they are all saying this is great. People are staying home. And, so the few people who have ventured out, coming here even, I'm sure you noticed, hardly anybody is out. But if the wrong car gets out there, these 2-wheel drive cars, you're not going to make it. I
Right.
mean, that's what the White County said. He said, it is guaranteed that you're going to get stuck.
Yeah, and we beat this drum every time we get a big snow, and people
Right.
still are curious. They can't help it. They think they can get through, and oftentimes they don't. What else you have on your pad there?
Yeah, Webster County. I talked to Steve Madden, the 911 supervisor at Central Dispatch. Same thing. Work crews are out trying to clear off the snow, but they just sent an ambulance out to an emergency call, and the ambulance could not get down the driveway. They had to send out extra crews to plow and move snow.
Right.
So he said they were part of that ice storm, and
Right,
he said
right.
they
Yeah,
got
farther down.
Yep. They got a good layer of ice on top of the snow, and it's just made it that much worse. And so he's like, listen, if emergency crews are even struggling to get out there, please don't go out and get stuck and block the emergency crews from getting to where they
Right,
need
and
to
make
go.
another problem for them.
Exactly.
So, and
Yep.
what else do you have?
So what he's forecasting is that he's like, great, most people are staying home today. He's seeing that come work tomorrow morning, he's afraid that people are going to try and get to work.
Sure.
And he sees he's like, the conditions are not going to be better by then. And he can see this forecast for lots of wrecks.
Right.
So again, all of these counties are saying, even tomorrow morning, try, if you can, stay home.
Yeah.
And,
And
I
we'll
guess,
have those closings as they come in. That's an automated thing. Companies, schools,
Yeah,
everybody,
great point.
any business can put them on. Those are on our webpage, 14news.com. They're also on TV, and we can get those out there as well. So it gets
That's it.
better, Barbara. A couple
I
more
know.
months, this will all melt off, and it'll be a fond memory. Well, maybe not a fond memory, but a memory.
I might be to blame. I mean, I came
you
south.
bring it with you
I
from
might have brought it
Michigan?
with me, so I apologize.
No. You
Yeah.
don't need to take the blame for
Yeah.
the tri-state. Well, we appreciate all you
Yep.
do. Weekend anchor Barbara
Yep.
Bellinger.
I know it's that
Bellinger.
kind of a day.
It is.
Well, I'll be
And-
back later.
Right.
I'm going to keep calling counties and
Okay.
keep getting more info.
Okay, doing
All
the
right.
thing. Thanks,
Thanks,
Barbara.
Jeff.
All right, talk to you after a while. So there you have it from Barbara, our weekend anchor on what's going on around the tri-state. All right, I am going to do a little switcheroo here to make it easier for me to talk and point. So while I do that, see, you're seeing raw television here. That's what it's all about on these streaming shows. I'm going to put a lavalier mic on, and that'll free up my hands. I won't sound quite the same, but that's how it's going to go. All right, now you're still hearing me, hopefully, and we'll get this mic out of the way, and I'll show you what I have. So as Barbara mentioned, and as I'm going to show you again here, we have these bands of snow now setting up, and that is kind of the last thrust of snow through the tri-state. We've been concerned about the cold, and I'll get to that in a moment, but clearly we still have a little more snow to get through here across the area. You can see daylight here at the back. In fact, the sun was out, or kind of out, here at the station as those big flakes were coming down. We're still showing it tapering or slacking there around 3 or 4, and then the cool down will occur later tonight as we move into Monday and Tuesday. The good news is I think virtually all schools will be shut down, and hopefully a lot of businesses will do the same, and so we won't have to get people out and at risk out there in traveling, because at these temperatures, if you do get hung up, and as Barbara said, many have, you risk frostbite or hypothermia in a short period of time. We have temperatures in the teens now. Those wind chills are down into the single digits and sub-zero now, -3 Henderson, -1 Owensboro, and 0 at Madisonville. And around the area, the expected additional snowfall still around a ½ inch to an inch area wide on top of whatever you've had. I was going to put together a snowfall map, but it's still coming down. But I can tell you that we are easily within that 6 to 13 inch range or whatever we had yesterday over the entire region. And even if it's 5 inches with sleet on top, it's still bad out there. Our ice storm warning conditions will continue until 6 there for Muhlenberg, and our winter storm warning will go through tomorrow morning for lingering disruptive winter weather. And then there's the cold. We have an extreme cold warning. Those are kind of rare. I don't know that I've seen one of those before in my time here. But what it means is a prolonged period of dangerous cold. And so that means lows will be near zero or below, and our snowpack out there basically supercharges that cold air, so it just never warms up. And so we're going to keep the snow around 2. We mentioned already, but I'll say it again, frostbite on exposed skin, hands, face, and so forth, your nose, feet. If you're not wearing good insulated boots, can happen in about 30 minutes. And our expected length of time here that we will spend below freezing, about 11 days, which would tie the second longest sub-freezing spell there. That was back in 2021 in February. This week, we really don't have much to advertise in the way of milder temps. Our normal high is 42, and most of our daily highs will be near what would typically be the normal low. So you can see we're kind of fighting an uphill battle here to warm things up. Most dangerous wind chills tomorrow morning and Tuesday morning. By Wednesday, Thursday, it moderates. If you think -1 is moderate. And, you know, as Barbara mentioned earlier, if you're going to check on people, call. I mean, that seems common sense. You don't want to get out there and get stuck yourself. But elderly, those living alone, you should check in on them. Your pets with this brutal cold, they need shelter, liquid water, not frozen out there, food, straw, an enclosure, or bring them into the garage or a shed, somewhere they can warm up. And then frozen pipes will also be a problem here at these levels, and you're going to have a monumental heating bill. I can just tell you right now because of this cold air that has sunk in. Currently we're at 13 degrees. It feels like 2 at Evansville. You can see some cars going by there. I'll go back here. So there is some traffic moving on the Lloyd Expressway. You kind of have to dodge the stats there. But you know, we will just keep preaching. Don't get out there and drive around to see if you can, because chances are you can't. For the season, and now this is only up through yesterday. We have not added in today's snowfall. We did set a record yesterday with 4.5 inches of snow at Evansville Regional Airport, and we're now at 6.6 for the season. That will probably jump to about 12 or so for the season, which would put us in right at the normal range. Typically we get about 12 in an average winter around here. We've talked about the one-day snows. If we did get more than 8 inches of snow at Evansville Regional, which is where these numbers come from, then we would be among the top 5 cold or snowiest years on record. We don't get 8 inches of snow very often. In fact, on average, about every 32 years or so. And our snowfall record yesterday, of course, we shattered that, and I think we're going to shatter that 4.2 today as well. On the big picture, we have drier air that's trying to get down here, and it will make it, but it's going to take some time, of course. And while we're waiting, we have just a continuous string of sub-freezing days on our hands. Looking ahead here, I'm going to show you the GFS model first, which is mainly dry until early next week, maybe some snow coming back in then. The European also kind of hinting at that. But we're going to take it a day at a time here, and we will be looking down the line here a little more thoroughly later on tonight. Michael Fecka will do that for you. 0 degrees tonight, up to 11 tomorrow, and our 7-day forecast, we've added an alert day there on Wednesday now to account for the extreme cold. So that's what I have for you right now. Let me see what's on your mind. Excuse me. We got 10 inches of snow at Bosse Field. That's from William Raleigh. He's a regular here on the stream shows. Lindsay Hamilton wants to know when it will melt. Couple of weeks, probably. And with these amounts, you might see those big mounds of snow, you know, Walmart and Home Depot, you know, places where you have a big parking lot, way up into March at this rate. A lot of you talking about getting stuck here. Michelle King got stuck in her driveway. Yeah, calling since you couldn't get out of your driveway. And that happens too. Linda Hipschman is begging businesses to close. All right, well, hopefully they'll heed your advice. Jeff Miller reporting 11 to 12 inches of snow in Saval. That's in Posey County. Thanks, Jeff, for that report. And Cerise Sigler, will it be possible to get from Henderson to Roberts and Seabury Tuesday morning? I really can't predict that far in the future. At the rate we're going here, we're trying to get the snow off the road and the cold. I would say that would still be a big if and an unnecessary risk if you can avoid it. Misty Cornelson reports 9 inches of snow at Chandler. Kyle Van Leer over 5 inches at Providence in, that would be in Webster County, in western Kentucky. And I'm sure some of that was also sleet and freezing rain. So a real messy mix out there too. I think I got all of the snowfall reports in there. I did. I'll talk here just for another second or two. Will Duncan says, just make it stop. Yes, I wish I had that button back here. I do not. So we're just going to have to kind of grin and bear it here. I guess if you want to look ahead, we should see a moderation in temperatures toward the middle of February, but leading up to that, we remain below normal and drier than normal too, which at least bodes better for, not having more snow if we're going to stay drier than normal. I'm going to run it back here to our cameras out there. Again, this is the Lloyd Expressway looking down from what was Berry Plastics, is at Amcor now. And you see there are mainly four-wheel drive and Jeeps out there. I do know that the Evansville Jeepers are taking health workers, nurses and doctors, technicians and the like to and from the hospitals out there. So of course that's appreciated, and that is an avenue for you to look for rides. I don't know if Uber has like a sub-channel for four-wheel drive vehicles. I guess you get on Uber and look, somebody's not going to try to take that fare unless they can get through. So some vehicles are indeed making it through. We still had the big flakes coming down in Owensboro, and as I showed you before, we still have a few more hours of snow here sweeping across the tri-state, but it is becoming banded where it will be heavy for a brief period, then light, maybe even taper off, and then kind of bloom out again. Please stay safe. Michael Fecka will be with you at 4, and then on 14 News at 5. The stream show at 9 and 14 News, at 10. Then we do it all over again. We are on a normal schedule tomorrow. Byron will see you on 14 News Sunrise. Arden will have the midday show. I'll be here during the afternoon and evening. So please stay safe, try to stay warm, and thank you as always for watching our stream here on 14 News. Have a great day.